You want to say hi to top? There he is.
What's up?
What's going on, man? Hold on, let me turn you up a little bit.
Yeah, I'm doing the same.
Come, get off of my back. I'm about to fall over.
One second.
Say hi to Tyler.
Hello.
Really? Good. Let me adjust this. A little sideways.
Hey, Tara, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Hi. Hanging in there.
Yeah, man. I know. It's how's your week been for you so far?
I mean, so far so good. Busy. Super busy.
Yeah, man.
I'm trying to do, like, you can see this. You probably can't see it right now because I'm facing my quasi workbench right now. So it's been a lot of ordering stuff and then tracking orders and hoping to get here and just trying to keep up with everything.
Yeah, man. It's been rough. It's been a rough week so far already for us too.
Yeah.
I mean, even with the long weekend we had, it's exhausting, man. Still, so yeah. Same thing.
Well, I think the biggest thing I'm running into is that on like Monday, which you normally are geared up for,
right?
Because you have a weekend, right?
Right.
It's like Monday for me has like slowly been turning into like just an extension of Sunday.
Right. Yeah. You're right.
So, but what can you do? I mean, it's it's something that I think. What is this, like week 4 of really this kind of new way of doing things? And
it's been about a month.
Yeah. I mean, this is my 4th week. This is my 4th week in like this new home that I'm basically living in at this point.
Right. Yeah. I know that's an adjustment, man, too, because all your a lot of your stuff is still back in Jersey. Yeah.
So I when we came up here, whatever it was, literally like a month ago now, I brought enough stuff to essentially I told myself it was going to be, and this was probably an oversight, but I told myself, hey, we'll be gone for a week. I had a couple ongoing things that I was working on, wanted to get caught up on some stuff.
Right.
I still had some shows that hadn't been officially postponed, back at the beginning of March, right? So, so I was bringing up some stuff to kind of get ahead of the game, and like all my tools for the most part. I mean, I'm missing a couple things, but as far as material and whatnot, like I didn't bring up all of my leather to come and do anything. So once I like ran out of and exhausted the stuff that I had. I had some shipments that were getting sent to New Jersey that, were essentially just sitting there, with no one picking them up or anything like that.
Right.
And, so now, now I've been like basically changing all my shipments, calling up all the places where I'm getting my stuff from and seeing if they can, redirect it to here. And now I've just done everything that I got shipped to me right now is coming to this address, which is, it's what I have to do. I mean, that's what it is for further notice, right? So, just like everyone else, I'm assuming, just trying to, make do, I guess, and figure out the supply chain.
Say it again.
I said, just trying to figure out and dial in the supply chain to.
You're right. Logistics is all messed up right now with everything.
I mean, the biggest thing for me and what I'm dealing with is. It's not like the materials and stuff are stressful. Don't get me wrong, but like you get this because you're, I think you're OCD when it comes to, a lot of your branding and whatnot, in a good way, obviously is like, I have all these things that I'm making right now and trying to get out to people, keep it within, the timeline that I give people typically. And like the one thing I can't do is like physically put my logo on stuff right now because of, I use like a press that, is not exactly transportable. Right. So like, I'm basically giving people like 2 options. Like you can either wait to get the logo on it or, ship it back, or I'll pay for shipping to get it back.
Right.
if you want it shipped. And some people are asking for it unbranded, which I'm actually kind of cool with, because, it's kind of one of those things where, there's only going to be a certain amount of unbranded pieces that are floating around out in the wild. And, people are going to have to tell a story about kind of, whose brand it is, because it doesn't have anything on it. And
yeah.
So I've asked a couple people if they want to do that, and they've been down with that, which is pretty cool. And some people have just been really cool about, waiting until I can go back and, put initials on stuff, or, brand it the way that they want branded. So it's a grab bag, but, I don't have any of my packaging stuff to send to people. I don't have,
man.
I can't just, grab a mailer, throw a logo on it, and, stickers and everything like that. And,
right.
Just saw the message about buying Arbor Press. It's exactly, that's exactly what I wasn't able to tote around in my in my car to bring up here. Not, it's bolted down to my workbench. So it's one of those things, right? But it's fun. Like I've looked at it as like kind of like like it's funny for me, because I don't really have like a full on like a workbench. I don't have like a room dedicated to doing this stuff. I mean, I do. Even when I'm operating at full strength, I'm doing it off of a 4-foot table inside of a 600 square foot apartment. So it's already quasi semi-permanent, I guess. So it's an interesting way. It's really just kind of like another thing to overcome, I guess, is what I'm looking at it. Like, I'm actually looking at it sitting down at a table right now. It's like double the size of the workbench that I currently work on. So it's, from that standpoint,
crazy,
it's
man.
super nice. Yeah. So, but I just don't have I just can't reach over to my left and grab whatever the heck I want right now. So, it is what it is.
Yeah. I mean, it makes you really look at what you have in your work area, and see what you can use. I mean, you might be able to make them, you know what I mean? From something that you put to the side a while ago that you just now see. It's like, oh, I could do this with that.
Right. And now like all the limited amount of stuff that I have here, every single tool I have has a specific purpose, when creating something. And it just really makes you realize, like, there's certain projects I'm afraid to do, or I'm not doing right now, because I simply don't have, what I need to get that exact, step.
Yeah, we're here. You hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you guys. It's just one of those things where, like you said, you just really appreciate, the finer things, I guess. I can see you guys fine.
Okay, good. Yeah, I'm just looking at the comments right now too.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, we had to we had just some sample fabric, and that's how we were able to just do these masks that we're gonna drop here in another day or two. And so it's I mean, we're feeling the same thing. I mean, we're not able to get some of the supplies we need for like our antibacterial denim spray, just other things like that. Everything else aside from that is kind of done, or we're waiting for it to complete it, because we can't do it right now. So it's a way.
I know a lot of people, that I stay in touch with, whether it's guys that are doing leather stuff, or other small businesses or whatever, that are dealing with the exact same the exact same issues from a supply chain standpoint. So it's almost one of those things where it's nice, I guess, in some ways, to know that you're dealing with it with other strong companies and whatnot. Where you can bounce ideas off of people, figure out what they're doing to kind of backdoor get around certain situations and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, I think all in all, like we've talked about, I mean, it's definitely something where hopefully we can look on this, another, whoever knows how long it's going to be down the road, and think back on it and learn from it, and ultimately grow and come out stronger, obviously. So who knows? We'll see.
I agree. And that brings us to like the things that we've been working on together with you, and how that came about, which we want to ask you about later. But the first thing when it comes to like the tools that you have, and the leather that you're working with, and particularly like the denim that we've worked with. So
Sure.
in your mind, what does that bond mean to you? Like, the leather and the denim bond.
Yeah. I mean, I think that the coolest thing and kind of the the thought process, I guess, kind of what we'll talk a little bit later about probably with the collaboration team. I mean, I'm just so drawn to, and it's not like I don't think it's anything that's mind blowing or earth shattering, but the way that both a piece of leather in its raw form and a piece of denim in its raw form,
Right.
From day one to day 100, let's call it, kind of that love and that the way what you put into them, I guess,
Yeah.
and the way that you kind of wear it or carry it or whatever it is.
Right.
You kind of see those fruits of labor down the road, which sounds kind of cliche or whatever, but I think that that's what draws me to it, right? Like seeing a piece of leather after using it or carrying it or whatever for however long you may be carrying it for, or
Right.
wearing a pair of jeans that like the pair of jeans that I have from you, I still haven't washed, right? And I got those whatever it was 4 or 5 months ago,
Right.
And that to me is the coolest part about it. It's almost like every day you wake up and you have a new product, right? You look at it, so many people are drawn to buying things that look different, right?
Right.
But that might be a yellow shirt versus a white shirt versus a green shirt versus whatever other color blank T-shirt, let's say, right?
Yeah.
Where you could have something that starts off as one color of one color of leather, one shade of leather. A week later it's a different shade. A week later it's a different shade. And
Right.
I think that the one thing that really has drawn me and I've kind of fallen in love with is just the way that it evolves over time. And denim works hand in hand, in my opinion, with the leather. So,
Yeah.
being able to watch both of them age and evolve over time together, like we've kind of been doing here behind the scenes, is the best of both worlds, I think.
I think so too, man. I think it's a perfect balance when it breaks in,
Yeah.
collectively when it breaks in, together.
And I think yeah, to just go on to that, a little bit deeper, I guess, right? Like, anyone who's carried a wallet for the longest time, whether it's a cheap $10 wallet from Sears, or whether it's the
Right.
nice handcrafted wallet out there, or same thing with jeans, right?
Yeah.
The more that it wears in, ultimately, the more that it forms to your body, the more that it shapes to your legs, the more that it starts to get those fades and everything that everyone's so in love with, the way that it folds over top of your boots and everything
Right.
like that, the way that your wallet comes out of your back pocket or front pocket. Those are the things that I think I personally have really not taken for granted, since I've kind of started this journey, right? I think, like, if you were to ask me 10 years ago, even 5 years ago,
Right.
would I have noticed something like that? No, I'd probably, a wallet craps the bed,
Right.
just go out and buy a new wallet, right? Just go out and buy a new T-shirt, buy a new pair of blue jeans. But I've found like a newfound passion and love, I guess, for those things that really are quote unquote old.
Right.
But every day in my mind they're new, because I'm constantly looking for some sign of wear or some sign of tear that I didn't see the day before.
Yeah.
But I know it's going to be there.
So do you wear? I know for me, I have to. So when I'm going to work, I'll wear my denim to work, right? I have my wallet with me all the time, so that's always getting wear. The wallet I got from you, and so the denim, it only gets wear on the way to work and on the way from work and on the weekend. So sometimes, unless I'm off, because I'm wearing the Army uniform every day.
Right.
Aside from now being the shelter in place, but
Sure.
so how do you wear your heritage items every single day, or how, like, what that look like when you're switching from home field advantage goods to the job?
Yeah. So it's a very interesting question. So I obviously do this part time. I consider it my 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. job. 4 hours. Right. If I get four hours in a day, it's definitely a good day for me on the HFA front. But daily, I run a lacrosse program, and I'm coaching kids from the age of 4 to 18, essentially, almost every single day of the week, and usually on the weekends as well.
Right.
And it's actually become like a kind of like a talking point with a lot of the other coaches is, the easiest thing to do, or the most common thing, I guess, is, coaching sweatpants, coaching shorts, coaching, whatever other comfy clothes you would consider.
Right.
And I actually, I typically wear a pair of denim to the majority of things that I coach in. So, my job is not, super strict as far as what I can wear into the office,
Right.
just because it is lacrosse and that's the nature of it. But, rather than go change into a pair of shorts or sweatpants or, joggers or something like that, and there's a ton of people out there that probably think I'm nuts, but, I'm coaching in blue jeans and Red Wings and, a T-shirt that's branded or whatever with the
Right.
club and everything like that. But I'd be curious as to think what some of the parents that are there. They probably think I'm the most uncomfortable guy in the world. But it's actually it's just I think once you get to a point and where you have 4, 5, 6 pairs of jeans, whatever it is,
Right.
that you can throw on at any given moment that all look good but also are super functional, and you can
Right.
do whatever you need to do in them, which is where I'm at right now with all the denim that I own.
Right.
There's really no reason for me to really change up what I'm doing. So like I'm out there, I'm demonstrating stuff, I'm coaching, I'm showing whatever drills I'm doing, and I would say 98% of the time I have either a pair of blue jeans on or
Right.
some sort of denim. So it is like I got a lot of crap for it actually from a lot of our we had a Christmas party with a bunch of our new coaches this year, and that was like some of our newer guys kind of busting my chops for wearing denim while coaching and whatnot. So it's definitely a hot topic right now, but
Come on.
it is what it is. It is what it is.
Yeah.
Doesn't bother me.
Yeah, especially you keep it in rotation. You're wearing your well worn denim. You're wearing you got your leather and everything like that. So even with that, I really don't care what other people say. Really, when it comes to that type of stuff, when it comes to why you wear denim, yeah, because I'll be a rebel all day long with that. And it's like so. What is your oldest piece then? And how and do you wear that often? Your oldest leather piece or your oldest denim piece?
Yeah, I mean, I think we touched on it a little bit the other weekend when we did the threaded story, but I would say up until about maybe 3 years ago, 4 years ago,
right.
I had no issues buying any sort of clothing items from your big box fast fashion brands.
Right.
Wear it for as long as you possibly could, or until it didn't fit anymore, or it got shrunk or whatnot.
Right.
I still have some jeans, some canvas jeans, some Taylor Stitch that I've beaten the crap out of for a long, they're mostly like my winter jeans, like a heavier canvas.
Yeah.
Those are probably one of the first, I guess, heritage pieces, if you want to call it that I actually have had any sort of longevity with. And I have a ton of something I have always been pretty, for whatever reason, like pretty into has been like old flannels and whatnot. So I have a bunch of old Woolrich sweaters that, I've had for probably 7, 8 years, 10 years now that I still keep in the rotation. I think I might even have one on right now underneath my coat. So, again, it's just like one of those things where, 10 years ago, was I thinking about like, hey, will I have this piece in 10 years? Probably not.
Right.
But it so happens that I got lucky or whatever, and took a shot on a couple pieces that held up and withstood the test of time. So while I've had probably 10 times as many things that definitely haven't.
Yeah, for sure, man.
I'm sure you've known at some point.
Yeah, I love it, man. I think my most cherished pieces that I have in my closet are those ones that have worn in for a long time, and or the ones that I'm excited to break in. That it's just new excitement. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
no, I definitely know that feeling. I mean, I think that and I'm sure you get the same exact thought process when you're making a new item or a new product or something like that. Is I can't even tell you how many pieces I've made for people that I've shipped off, and
right.
the last thing I do obviously is look it over and, package it and everything like that. And just thought to myself, like, man, maybe I should just make something, exactly like this piece because because I like it so much.
Right.
And I never do, and I never do, and I never do. And ultimately it just, shipped off or whatever. So, I think like probably every few months, maybe I'll treat myself with like a little project if I get some free time to, make for myself or whatever. But, for the most part, everything that I'm making is getting sent off to someone, and I just sit there and kind of envy it. And then, eventually if I get some time, I'll, try and recreate it and make it as good as the first one. But, that's one of the, I guess that's one of the perks / downsides of the job,
Yeah, you're right. Tara, she had to go take care of the baby, but she wanted to ask you, and so we wanted to challenge you with this, really. So there's been a lot of conversation about women's heritage and heritage goods, and women's denim, and women in menswear. So when it comes to leather,
Sure.
what have you noticed that has been like a common go-to for women who purchase from you, and what does that look like if you were to make a new heritage piece? Like, what's the inspiration behind that?
You know what? I think, it's been close to 2 years, I guess, of really diving into this deeper.
Right.
I would say that I've definitely, and I've kind of evolved with the process. So when I first started, I was primarily making, small leather goods, everyday carry items for men, right? Card holders, simple, bifold wallets, kind of very, very basic stuff, as I kind of started going.
Right.
Then as I became, I guess, more skilled with it, and as I got a little bit deeper into the community and interacting more with people, I guess, I actually, I think it was about probably close to like 4 or 5 months ago, started my first women's tote bag, which was something that, if you asked me a year and a half ago, would have never even been an option. So, started creating, women have a specific kind of, taste when it comes to wallet. I've made wallets for women that, are just simple card holders for, the woman who, commutes daily into the city and doesn't want to carry a lot of stuff. And she can throw it in her, purse and have no problem with it, right? Just kind of set it and forget it kind of stuff. Which is great, because at that point, whether it's men's, women's, whatever, it's a card holder, and I think anyone could use it. But I don't think I've personally seen like a different trend in kind of the way that I'm making things. I will say that I've definitely seen an uptick in making women's bags, and that was something that I kind of planned on doing. I knew that at the beginning I was primarily making quote unquote men's items, if you will. And wanted to kind of branch out and do more stuff for women. It definitely helps when you live with with your girlfriend who's constantly breathing down your neck about different stuff to make and whatnot. So and if she's on here, great. But so a lot of it, honestly, and kind of the way that I've treated this whole thing up until this point is, if someone wants something or if someone has an idea with something, if you just keep hounding me enough and kind of just being a pest, like odds are I'm probably going to find some time to do something for you, right? So, she hounded me enough about making a tote bag, because she was upset with the, whatever brand of bags that she had. And I just said, hey, all right, for Christmas or Thanksgiving this year, I'm gonna sit down. And I didn't tell her I was doing this, but like I heard enough of it and was like, all right, I just got to find some time where I'm not near it. Right. So, like I've definitely personally tried to, I guess, branch out a little bit more and get more into, kind of women's leather items, if you want to call it that. I've done a lot of custom pieces, I think, for women that have reached out saying, hey, I like this particular style wallet, or hey, can you make something that kind of looks like this wallet that I currently have right now, but it's beat up and it's old and I need a new wallet. But when it comes to wallets, I kind of look at it as, more of a unisex, no
Yeah.
gender specific
Yep.
piece, which is great, and I think that makes my job a little bit easier.
Right.
Now is there definitely stuff that a woman's going to be more likely to buy as opposed to a male? Then sure,
Right.
and vice versa. But as far as trends go, and I know, I'm probably in the same boat as you when you kind of bring this up. Like I've definitely seen a number of different companies who make denim and
Right.
produce jeans, start to swing that pendulum over to having women's heritage good, which is amazing.
Yeah.
But in leather stuff, I don't think that I've seen like enough to, I guess, tip the scale like you're kind of seeing in denim right now.
Yeah.
If that makes
Yeah.
sense. So, but yeah, I mean, I personally love making the tote bags. I actually have spent since we've been in this quarantine, I've spent probably the majority of my time actually working on different bags. So got a new bag coming out pretty soon. I think got a couple custom orders that I'm working on. So, if the women want to keep ordering bags, I'll keep making it.
I like that, man. And we just asked that question because, we think it's important too because the women, they're asking for something. I mean, Tara did the same thing for me. She's like, where's the women's denim at? Like, she did the same exact thing. And, she's right. I mean, when we did it and we dropped it, we sold out of the women's.
Yeah.
It was crazy. And we did a couple sample fits, just to make sure it was right, to us. And, every single woman who purchased one, they loved it. It fit like a glove, and we're talking about the break-in process.
Right.
The patina of the leather, the same bond leather them have, and how that fades in or gets darker over time. And when we saw that and the excitement that it had on her face or any woman's face, it was like inspiring. It's like, okay, so we got to do more. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, totally. I mean, it was the same exact feeling I probably had when, I was able to give the first tote bag to my girlfriend. Right. It was like, she just like, I'm sure a lot of women out there, are constantly, looking on the internet for, a bag or for whatever it is, whatever online shopping that they do. And, she saw the final product and had no idea that it was coming or whatever, had never seen one before. And, to see that, see a smile on her face and see her light up and, understand that I personally made that. And she knows that, the leather and everything that I use, just like I'm sure Tara does, is like, it's the highest quality stuff and it's going to last a long time. But, there was definitely in the back of her mind, without asking her, like that shadow of a doubt of, is this even possible to do? And, so like once I saw her smile and once I could actually tell her like, hey, it was possible, that's a good feeling, right? That's what
awesome,
keeps me going. So,
oh man,
how was I was gonna say, like so you sold out of the women's stuff. What did and the feedback was pretty positive on that?
Yeah, it was. We were psyched, and then we did, and it was. So we didn't want to put a whole bunch of money into it. We didn't really know how it was going to be, but it was still produced with quality fabric. It was cone, it was stretch, it wasn't selvage, but it was a beautiful hue. It was raw stretch. We didn't do any rinse to it, no wash or anything, and the fades came out amazing. Like so what we're going to do when we launch this next run of women's, we'll show the process, and we're looking at, oh man, maybe 2 years of wear, a year or two of wear, and it's amazing, man. It's like amazing. So we're excited for the next drop, and we're going to, and this is a conversation Tara and I have had for a while now. We're going to switch it up because we didn't know what sizes we were going to start at with the women's. We didn't know, should we start at 4, 6, 8, or 0? What? So we started at 0 and went to a 14.
Okay.
And all the ones from 6 to 12 or 6 to 14, they sold real quick. But the smaller ones was the ones that which we thought were going to go first. they sold after. You know, they just sold sell as quick, but they sold
Right.
sold out, and
Right.
it was interesting to see that. And so moving forward, when we do this next drop, I think we're gonna start the base at 6. You know,
Okay.
and up.
Yeah, I mean that would be my like my first question, as I'm sure it's everyone
Yeah.
else's, is like, you know, the sizing templates between men's and women's is probably what takes the most amount of time to, you know, kind of dial in or whatever to
Right.
you know, to produce those runs. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, now that you guys have, you know, some sort of templating system down, now you just got to figure out, you know, where you're going to start your sizing, I guess.
Right, and you know, we've done some research, and you know, even so the average woman is a size 12 or 14, right? Average, you know, and that looks different on every single body.
Sure.
You know, so it's going to be amazing to see how this new stretch. It's going to be a stretch selvage. It's going to be cone, some dead stock, and it's going to be amazing to see how that forms. You know, and how this heritage pendulum swings to the women, and kind of just.
No, I mean,
You know,
I selfishly love what's going on, right? Because now I can, you know, or not now, but, you know, more so than ever, I guess, I can kind of make the push to, you know, have a significant other try and make the leap, I guess, into the deep end of
Right.
kind of exploring the same stuff, right? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So,
Right.
no, I love everything that's going on there. You know, and like you said,
overalls.
Yeah, overall, I mean, whatever it is, right? I mean,
Yeah.
but like you said, like you're definitely seeing, you know, I mean, you can just do a quick scroll through any, you know, any social media. You know, a lot of accounts. You know, a lot of people are trying to do, you know, the women's game right now, which is awesome.
That's not the first time someone has said overalls. Someone just grabbed the phone this time.
Oh, I can't.
Yeah, and it's crazy, you know. And so before we, because I want to talk about before we talk about the collab that we're dropping tonight. So I can't remember if it was your first or second event with AF
Yeah.
in Brooklyn, right? And you had a post, and I'm going to read it because it was very true to what it is that we're talking about, what it is that we're doing, and it was amazing. It said. Collaboration, small business, human interaction, and storytelling. You know, you said that those are some of your, you know, your favorite things, and you know, like that you love. So, how are these things shaping you, and how have they made you a better maker? You know,
Well, I think that the cool thing about this is, you know, for me, you know, I'm in an interesting situation where I'm not doing this full time. Just like you know, you have other stuff going on as well.
right?
You know, so for me, you know, making something for someone, I get a lot of pleasure out of it. I love it. You know, it fulfills a need that, you know, some people, you know, have. But more so than that, you know, like doing the events like AF, or, you know, some of these other events that I've done in the past, you know, or even a day on Instagram interacting with people who, you know, reach out, you know, so on and so forth. That's the stuff for me that I personally enjoy more. Is I like connecting with people. I like, you know, being able to tell my story. You know, listening to what people want, listening to you know, stuff that other people, you know, have dealt with in the past that you know, they either, you know, something that's lacking or something that, you know, they're looking for, whatever it is. You know, but then it's also something where, and it probably comes from my you know, my sports background, I guess, is like, you know, that feeling of, you know, being a part of a team, I guess. And, you know, and I kind of look at this whole world that, you know, we're involved with, you, me, and, you know, all the other small brands out there, small makers, you know, who are doing this as a side hustle, or guys and women who are doing this, you know, amongst the rest of their, you know, day-to-day stuff. It's like, you know, as the teammates, right? Like we're all in this together. You know, so I've made, you know, so many cool relationships with people, like that weekend at AF, where I'm sure you're probably, you know, reading that picture off of, you know, was able to run into, you know, so many people that I would have probably never met before. Like maybe I would have went to AF as a, you know, as a regular, you know, just as a, you know, an attendee, I guess. But, you know, to be able to go there and, you know, sit there at 8:30 in the morning and, you know, while you're setting up, whatever, talk to the guy next to you who's, you know, telling you about how he's, you know, grinding to, you know, keep the lights on, or grinding to, you know, down or whatever, like that's the stuff that motivates me, right? Like,
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I have no problem, right now, doing this as a hobby, right?
Right.
I don't go this, I'm not going to, even try and tell people that like I'm doing this as like a full-time thing or anything like that.
Right.
But like, I can relate to those guys and those women who are out there, who are doing this full time to keep the lights on, to support a family, so on and so forth. And those are the people that inspire me. The people that inspire me are the ones that are going through their stuff right now, where it's a struggle. I mean, everyone it's out there, right? It's no secret.
Right.
I mean, people are losing their businesses, going bankrupt, so on and so forth.
Yeah.
Like. I do it because I can relate to those people in some way, and I also understand that what they're going through is not easy. And someone who does this part time, is going through the same stuff. But I'm fortunate enough to have something else that's going on. So
right. Yeah.
For me, it's making something great and sitting down and working on my workbench for an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, whatever, until 1 o'clock in the morning, which a lot of people think like, why I constantly am like, people are like, what are you doing? Why are you up so late? Blah blah blah. Like, why are you trying to buy hours? Throughout the day. When you sleep. Like I do it because I genuinely enjoy it. Like and like sitting down and making stuff for people. But there's always in the back of my mind that thought of other people are out there doing this full time and they're trying to get by. Like I can only imagine what they're going through right now. The last thing I can do is go to bed at a normal hour. Like I gotta work just as hard as those people, because those people are inspiring.
Yeah, man. Yeah. I just saw this comment from Jason. And because we were talking last night about the same thing. And he gets it too. And it's and we've talked when we first started really talking, and we started developing our relationship. We talked about being up and those times of balance. And so, for me, the wife and the kids, and it's family time. As soon as they go to sleep, okay, now I'm going down to the basement, and I'm grinding. And last night, Jason, this is not funny. So I was falling asleep on the couch at 9 because I was exhausted, because the night before I got 3 hours of sleep. Then I just grinded it out for the whole day, no naps, nothing. And I was so tired. And so I said to Tara, I said, hey, I was like, I need to take a nap. Like not even go to sleep, just take a nap. I was like, I'm gonna wake up at like 3 or 4. So I ended up going to sleep at 10, and I woke up at 4. And it was great because no one was awake.
Yeah.
Everybody was quiet. I got a few hours to knock this stuff. You know what I mean? So it's
funny. It's funny that you mentioned that. Like, so my situation right now, since we've been in this quarantine period, I guess, if you want to call it that.
Right.
It's me, my girlfriend, and a couple of their family members. And I've tried to stay on my normal schedule, which is waking up at 5:30. Usually I'll go to the gym, come home, and then I'll try and get two hours of HFA work done before I leave to go to the office.
Right.
And for a full-time job. And I'll be honest, it lasted about a week until people started getting really annoyed with everything that I was trying to do before about 7 a.m. every day.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I've slowly toned it back to like waking up at 6:30, start banging around, maybe 8 o'clock is kind of like what I've been telling myself in the back of my mind is realistic. But, I mean, it's the same thing. Like the days of, I guess, sleeping in until, 7, 8 o'clock, waking up, showering, getting in the car, driving to the office, for the last 2 years, they've been non-existent.
Right.
But I can confidently sit here and tell you, like, the last 2 years of, since I've kind of started picking up on this, have been an amazing 2 years, right? Like I enjoy waking up and doing something that I love and I'm passionate about before I actually go and do my full-time job, which I'm lucky. Like I also am super passionate about that. And I love that as well. So it's almost a double-edged sword. Like, so then really what it comes down to is like, when do you sleep, right? If you love everything you do, and you have, and you have a family, or you have a relationship, and you squeeze that in there, and you really break down your 24 hours in a day. How many hours are left for actually, sleeping?
Like none. This is crazy.
But I'm okay with that.
Exactly. I'm okay with that. I am too. Oh man. So I think it's time before we close out to show everybody the piece again, and to kind of let them know just what we talked about on this last comment. You know, the collaboration, the small business, the human interaction, the storytelling. I'm gonna put it up on the screen real quick, and let me see. Where is it at? So this is your hand that made this, right? This is your hand.
It is, yeah.
This is Tyler's hand that made this, ladies and gentlemen, and it is a beautiful piece. So, and this is what we're dropping tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central. It's a limited run, and we didn't give it a name or anything. It's just the CMBD and HFA. It's just a heritage bracelet, leather and denim, and so yeah, you know, what does this mean to you? You know,
so I'll give you a little, I guess, just kind of my thought process on what went through my mind, I guess, while coming up with this.
Right.
So just to give a little background, I guess. So we actually this weekend we're supposed to be in Boston, right? I mean, you know, we were supposed to be going to American Field up in Boston, which I know I was stoked about. You know, you were stoked about it. I think you forgot that you were going there for a bit.
I did forget.
Yeah. So so we were supposed to go up there, you know, do the American Field thing, which I know I loved my experience, and I know you love your experience there. So we're big supporters. And you know, we planned on, you know, doing something specific for that event. Unfortunately, obviously, it's been postponed, you know, due to everything that's going on. So and I think American Field, for what it's worth, did an amazing job, you know, whatever it was 2 months ago, kind of, you know, communicating that it was going to be postponed. So
it did.
So we knew well in advance that, you know, April wasn't going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so we kept the conversation going as far as, hey, what do you want to do? If we're not physically going to be in American Field, what can we do to kind of build on this relationship that we built, but also kind of pair leather and denim together, you know, for the people, right? So, so we went back and forth. I think you threw some ideas out there, I threw some ideas out there, and we settled on this. And I think that since I've really started working with leather, my personal favorite leather to work with is natural veg tan. I think someone said that earlier in the chat. You know, it was the first leather I actually bought more than, you know, a few inches of, I guess. You know, first piece of leather that I actually committed to, you know, and spent money on, I guess. So since then, you know, in the first piece, you know, I had no idea what I was doing, and, you know, got crap all over it, and, you know, it was a mess. But since then, I've realized that, you know, you got to kind of be a little bit delicate with it. So I knew that I wanted natural veg tan, and I knew that, you know, when you sent over the Cone Mills denim, that it was going to be used in a specific way. So since we kind of talked about, I guess, bracelets in particular, I thought, why not just show a tad, you know, let's just show a little bit of it, and then let's mix in some you know, some blues and whatnot with the veg tan, kind of tie it all into together. And this was just something that I think we were talking one night. I went to bed. I think I messaged you the next day and was like, all right, I think I got an idea, and you said run with it, and I ran with it. You know, worked through it, and, you know, sent you over the first pictures, I guess, of the first one that I made that I'm wearing right now. And you dug it, and the rest is history, I guess.
Yeah, man. Yeah. It went, you know, and it went back and forth with, you know, drawings of this and, you know, the ideas. But I knew we were talking.
I think we quickly. I left that out. I think what I need to say is the first part of, like, the research and the R&D phase, if you want to call it that. My drawings suck. Like I can't draw anything. I think I sent you a picture. I actually have it in my notebook because I use my notebook every day.
Yeah.
And I was scrolling. I was looking through it today, looking for a note from back whatever it was a couple months ago.
Right.
And I looked at what I drew you, and I was like, come on, like what? There's nothing in the world that even this communicates nothing. Like this is a square with a couple hash marks down it.
Oh man, yeah, but and it came out just. I mean, you communicated what it was, and it's like I got it. This is perfect. And it came out amazing. And for me, when in that R&D process, and when we were just talking about it, which by the way was late night. This is 11, 12, 1 o'clock in the morning. We're going back and forth with this thing, and given everything that was going on, given the postponement of AF, us not being able to really narrow down the collab for a launch, a big launch like that in that type of arena,
Right.
And balancing the unknowns with everything. Like what this meant to me was a symbolism of hope for the community. Symbolism of hope for small businesses. Same thing you said, collaborations, human interaction, and that's what this is representative for me. And every time I have it on, it's I just can't wait for it to just break in even more because it's
well, I think
history, man.
I think the coolest part was, and kind of, again, like when I make something, I think that I obviously sit down and I put a lot of thought into it, and I like it coming to life.
Right.
But when you hit me with the line about what you're going to put in the description for this bracelet, and kind of the weird and unique times that we're in right now, and what it actually displays, and the way that you articulated it, that's when for me I was like, man, that actually just makes a ton of sense. Now I went into making this piece from completely from a designer standpoint, looking at it as, I think this is aesthetically going to look great. I think that just showing a simple line from the denim, and tying it in with some different shades of blue, and the natural veg tan is going to patina amazing over time. And got these really nice Japanese S hooks that kind of tie the entire piece together. And then when you dropped like a simple message on me that was, hey, that that little piece of denim that's sticking through is a sign of hope, and I was like, oh man, like this is extremely fitting for exactly what we're going. I mean, even today when we were going back and forth and talking about it, I was like, I personally would have never, I guess, looked at it from that standpoint.
Right.
You took it, and just the way that you put it into words, I was like, man, this is incredible. Like whatever you want to put in the description, I mean, you could put it in the description.
Right. Yeah, man. It's life, man. And it goes back to your denim or your leather, or whatever heritage piece or item that you have, man. Like that thing is gonna last a long time, and you want it to have a story, man. And I'm just so appreciative to be able to collaborate and drop something for everybody, symbolism of hope for the community, if you will. So it was dope, man.
Yeah, no, I feel the exact same way. I think that the one thing that we went back and forth on a bunch was, once AF got postponed, what do we do? Do you want to
Right.
I mean, we found out that AF was getting postponed back in, I think, early February.
Right.
Rather than, or not early February.
No, yeah.
Probably
so mid-March or so.
Yeah, I was gonna say maybe beginning of March makes a lot more sense. And rather than my big thing, and we touched on it, at the Saturday Threaded event, was rather than make something really quick and try and throw it out there, which I feel like I've seen a ton of people do. We kind of actually came up with a game plan, and I think that I feel comfortable, and I think you feel comfortable with the way that we're kind of rolling out, and and that's what's most important to me, right? Like I'm a big believer in when you're working with someone, when you're collaborating with someone, being on the same page, and understanding that before you do anything, or before you go and try and market this or sell this or promote this or whatever it is, that both people are of the same mindset, right? Because I mean, how many times have you seen collaborations or partnerships or whatever it is go down the tubes because, one person believes something and the other person, just isn't on the same page as them. So
Yep.
I'm super thankful that, you guys were, in the same place that I was when it came to dropping this thing. And, now we're here. I mean, I think there'll be a couple, there'll be a handful that we'll put up on the website, like Charles said, in 10 minutes. And if you want one, I think they're an awesome piece, and I think that you guys will enjoy them, watch them wear in, and I'm super excited to make them.
I agree, man. Yeah, appreciate you, man. Thank you for this conversation. It's awesome. It's always inspiring talking to you, man. And we can go on and on, man.
I'm sure we won't even be done talking for the rest of the night. I got a little bit more bourbon, and I got a full bag that I gotta make tonight, and I got a lot of people that aren't going to be happy about the banging I'm going to be doing here in the next few hours.
Yeah, man. I know. Oh man. Yeah, man. Well, appreciate you. So Jason, so it's going to be on a CMBD site, Jason.
Yep.
So.
Yeah, if you guys are interested, Charles is going to host those up on his website. I think, Charles, you say that you had like an email going out or something like that?
Yeah, so it'll be an email for our newsletter going out in about 10 minutes, and with all the details, the link, and it'll be live then. And I'm putting the website in the chat.
Oh, nice. And I mean, it is worth mentioning just because we, there's some people here, I guess. I mean, it is going to be something that I will try and put together as quick as possible. For anyone who wasn't here at the beginning of the conversation, in a little bit of a unique situation here where I'm actually not at my home location,
right,
with everything that's going on. So if I can, make it, if I can get them done, over the course of the next couple of weeks, great. But you're just going to have to be a little bit patient, I guess, when it comes to this whole thing. Whatever. So I don't have, Charles's amazing denim that he sent me for these pieces, which is flabbergastingly amazing stuff. I unfortunately didn't bring that with me. So in order to make these things, I got to get back to Jersey City so that I can pull that stuff out or whatever and make it the proper way. So
yep, that's right.
I mean, I think this is one of those things, and this will be the last thing I say. This is one of those things where you're hopefully feeling a little bit more positive about everything that's going on, and hopefully we're kind of seeing the light at the end of the tunnel, whether it's the next few weeks or the next month, whatever it is. No one has any answers. Maybe this is something that you receive a month down the road from now that shows up at your mailbox, and you open it up and you're excited about it. So that's my goal with this whole thing.
Man, appreciate you, man. Yeah, this has been good. So it's going to be limited pieces, and we're just excited about it. We're excited about the brand. We're excited about the collaborations, and just excited about the conversation, man. So thanks for coming on with us, man. And I'm sure we'll be talking here in a few hours or so.
All right, I'll talk to you guys. Tara, since you're not there, it was good seeing you tonight. Charles, be safe. We'll talk soon, man. And appreciate you doing these Tuesday events, man. I think a lot of people are tuning in, which is awesome.
No, man, no. Our pleasure, man. Appreciate you, man. Thank you.
Take care. See you guys.
You too. All right, Jason. All right, everybody. Huh? Yeah, we're done. Say goodbye to everybody.
Bye.